All right. So where are we? We are in the in-between time. We have a whole day to ourselves. Now I could practice, but I don't have any practice tokens, and I don't want to. I could. I could. I could buy some practice tokens. I suppose. I suppose I could. Do I have one to at least get me started? And I could go out there and run a practice round for everybody. Do I have one? Do I have one? Just one measly practice token? I do. I have one measly practice token. All right. Let's see what we got here. Customize. Let's buy a couple things that have practice tokens. Some of those 500 gem ones. I think I got a. Yeah, it's a K. I'd rather have two 500 ones going so that I have better shots of. Only Playdemic could screw up how a 6-shooter works. I mean, come on. Reload. Select. What do we want to do here? We want to do this one. And we will. No, we don't want to do that one. That one's 700. That one's 500. All right, we have some. We have some stuff. Let's make sure we have bags set up. We have some bags set up. Let's go look at the holes. All right. All right. All right. Get pushy. League of Leagues, hole number 1. All right. Now, I talked about, this is what's so funny about these holes, is when I came out here, I talked about, hey, if you go this way with the bigger ball, I like to come down in this area because I think the ball travels through, but you can try and come out, in other spots. You can do a max curl shot from here. You can try and get in front. There is a shot that you can bring out a bigger power ball where you try and get bounce number 1, bounce number 2, fly over, clip the rough, bleed out. There's lots of different ways to do it. The Power 5 stuff here is all wind dependent. So if we have a tailwind day or a pure side wind day, we might be able to get away with it on a pure side wind day, but I think we need tailwind. But what I'm going to do, regardless of the wind today, is I'm going to do the layup shot to here to see if I can work that out. And what I want to do, what I want to do here, you see, is let's bring out this bag and let's swap this out because I think everybody's got a quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback, you have a quarterback. I mean, pretty much everybody's got a quarterback. And a quarterback is easy to get up high in levels to get maxed out. Being a common card. And we will go out there and see if we can set up the max curl shot. I believe with the quarterback, if I'm not mistaken from past times playing it, that it's going to be 3 to 4 rings. I've got here's the fairway, here's the rough. I'm going to be 3 to 4 rings out into the fairway. The question that I have that I can't remember is whether I needed to pull back in order to get to the right spot, but we'll find out. We will find out the hard way. Rookie bastard. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Getting out on the course. If we can find an opponent. If. And we're definitely not going to find an opponent that wants to practice. We're going to find an opponent that thinks it's one-on-one and just goes out there and does the shot. I'm not so sure that when we're getting these holes that we're not getting somebody who's played in one-on-one because nobody practices. I think that is the spot. I think it's right there. 3 rings off. Max side spin. I think I can only do 3 top spin. Man, that seems... I'm going to do 3 and a half. 2-9. I'm going to do... There's 3. I'm going to do 3-2. Max curl. Perfect. Perfecto. And I probably could have put another tick of topspin on that. Another tick. If you put that extra topspin on and you find that your angle running out here, you're coming out on this angle, what you can do is on the start, watch where your second bounce is at. And on the start over here, you could move your shot out maybe another quarter of a ring, half a ring, and try and get yourself so that you're on this plane, so it does give you a little bit more depth in that. But maybe 3.5, maybe 4 topspin max. Now we're in the stuff. Now we're in the brown stuff. This has got to be thorn. Well, there is a rough bump that you can do from here, but you got to have a club that's got more topspin than that. .2. Man, there is an adjustment here, but I cannot remember what it is. Times 1.1. I'm going to do 10% divided by where am I at in my club. Pretty close to max. Pretty close. Pretty close to max club. Let's see exactly. Where's min? There's min back there, so there's mid. So I am getting up to max. And max with my thorn is 1.7 plus 0.1. It's 0.1. All right, I am ready. Now all I need is the wind. Why are they doing that much curl on it? They must not have had a backspin or the topspin to do the deal and needed to bring it around. All right, wind is 3.9, 2.6 rings. Max backspin. .62 rings. I thought I had that. And that was with plus 10%, and I'm pretty sure that's what we've been doing in the past, and I would have been a little short right there. I need to bring that suck back just a little bit deeper into the hole. All right, there we go. Hole number 1. I actually should probably take notes since we're here. Do we have time for notes? Do I have time for notes? I might. I don't have a pen, but we will see. I suppose I could go get one. Practice hole number 2. What is hole number 2? That's why we record video, so we don't have to write too much shit down. We can go back and listen to it. All right, I shot this the other day, and this is one of those things. After I got done shooting it, then I was like, I remember this hole. This is another one of those holes where if you've got an upper developed rocket, it might come in handy because you can start off over here and try and bring it along, or you can start off right here with a club that's got some backspin. I've made a few shots on this, but this is it's a difficult hole. I'm not sure whether I like that backspin or not, but let's make sure we bring some stuff just in case that is an opportunity. So we have the quarterback in there. Let's see if the rocket, yeah. Now I know we can play this. We'll go out there and look at it and see what kind of ball we need. I think if we want to go over to the other side and do the backspin, we might have to bring out a bigger ball, but I'm not going to swear to that. I won't. We'll see. It is, and our temperature dropped. We were up into like the 70s, so it kind of felt really good. And now we're probably down into the 50s, maybe the high 40s, but it feels like it's freaking 20 degrees after being in the heat. And then dropping down, it feels real cold. And the humidity's really high, so it soaks right through your clothes and it's right up against you. I have a friend from Colorado that was working out here one year. We were working up in Washington, and he's like, we were working a big snowstorm up there, and he's like, dude, it is freezing. And I'm like, you're from Colorado where you get minus temperatures. We don't even know what minus temperatures, like the thermometers in the Pacific Northwest don't even go below zero. I mean, they have special Pacific Northwest thermometers. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's so dry in Colorado that, if it's minus 30, it's just minus 30. It's not minus 30 plus 70% humidity. So now it's minus 60. High humidity. Not south high humidity, but pretty high. So you can get up in here with the 3 Powerball. Let's swap that ball out for let's try a Quasar. Now we're in Max Club right there. If I switch to that bag with the which one? There it is. Man, that red line is so freaking close right there. I'd really kind of like to switch to a Katana just so I could get a little bit more side spin, but there isn't enough room in there. And my opponent, of course, is not going to let me have a turn, so because nobody's practicing. Everybody's playing one-on-one. Did you win a chest, dude? Did you win something big for doing the thing? You see I'm out here shooting. Am I going to get a chance to shoot it? I'm gonna try the backspin shot. What the hell? We know we can bring it over, but I need to get up a little bit. .5 at minimum rocket. What is minimum rocket? 1.7. 2.5 divided by 1.7. If we did a straight up shot, it'd be 1.5 rings. 1.47, but who's counting? I like the fact that it tightened up. Now, I know that it's going against a little teeny bit of a headwind, so it's pushing up against each one of those bounces and really making it short like that. But that means I have a little bit of room if you bring out that ball. So if you bring out a one side spin ball and you try and get a 0 power ball, I think most people coming at this are going to try and bounce off from over here and then run their ball up. The thing I don't like about this is it works fine if you hit perfect, but where you're coming through right here, it's really easy on your second bounce to catch this rough if you hit a one ring great to the left. And you can run into some problems going through this area if you if you don't hit it perfect. Whereas if I can get right here, the only thing I'm screwing up on is the green. Now, I may have less of a shot of it going in the hole, but I'm interested in doing that rough bump. I have made every hole-in-one I've ever made on this hole was from back here running it up. I've never made a hole-in-one doing that backspin stuff, but it is an option. And if you're having any problems on this hole, get on the green, get your birdie, move along, okay? Move along, little doggy. Get to the next hole. Hole number 3. I will work on that hole as far as the shot going at it, just to see what the deal is. But I wanted to see if that backspin was good. All right, I like to go for here and then come straight at it. And this is a tricky green to come at from this angle, because where the cup's at, it always seems like the ball's rolling straight at it, and then right at the very end it breaks off. And if you don't have your speed absolutely perfect when you get to the spot, if you're going just a little bit too fast, it'll run right through the break and miss the cup. And if you're a little bit too slow, it'll break off even harder and end up over here. So it really has to be pretty perfect. You can go over here, but in my opinion, your second shot, you're dealing with the sand, and I'd almost think that I would rather bounce over on this side, bounce over the sand, and then try and run it up to the cup. But you could do backspin depending on how far you got up here, what clubs you got. But you have to use something big to get over here, and you got to have a little bit of luck on your side. It's pretty easy to get right there. This is once again one of those holes that you can bring a quarterback on. Quarterback? I think you can just bring. And we're going to bring it tight. The king of balls. And we're going to bring that bag. That bag will work. That bag will cut the mustard. If I can get back to practice. Hole number 3. If I remember correctly on this hole, it's like 1 or 2 backspin or 1 or 2 topspin. You're not doing a lot on this drive. And it's super important that you do not end up in the rough, because you can't recover. You could lay up, but there's no, I don't think, maybe if you get all the way to the very tip, but I don't even think I think you can put yourself right out in front, but I think it is backspin. Or maybe it's backspin if you're using a bigger club like that. Seems like it was like 1 or 2 backspin. Well, they have a headwind, so you don't have to put quite as much backspin on. Perfect. Perfecto. You don't want to get all the way to the tip and end up in the rough, but you could get a little bit closer than that. Two topspin. 2, 3. Puts me 2 rings into power. I'm going to go that way just a titch and a little bit of overpower. I should have set that shot up so I didn't have to do any overpower, but I'm an idiot. I'm a rookie. And then I ended up just at the same spot my opponent was. I'll have to go mark my ball so that he can hit his. We must be pretty close. Yeah. Cataclysm. Level 6. Look at that. See where the red line is right there? I'm going to be a little bit short with a sniper. And this shot to the cup, I'm going to take it at just wherever I'm at in my club, which is max club. It's a 1 per ring. It does seem like there's a slight adjustment here, but anything I told you will be wrong, even if it's right. This is another one of those gopher holes where I swear the gophers are out there and they're moving the cup after we hit the shot. Two, 9. I feel like I need to do 3 rings. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. Man, I thought it was going to roll out a little more than that, but it did not even get up there. That's the direction, though. But we definitely want to get a little bit farther up so that we're not... I prefer to take those shots where you can get up there where you can put on like one backspin. Yay! Look at that. They got temporary signs up that are permanently in play. Thanks, Playdemic. Woo! You guys are the best. You guys really love your clients, your customer base. Because nothing says class like advertising your own game inside of the game. And interfering with the gameplay of your customers. Nothing says, we love you, like Golf Clash. Because I was so confused about what game I was playing. I thought I was playing Golf Impact or something. I'm glad you guys cleared that up for me. Glad you guys cleared it up. I would just have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that whole deal, like the whole thing, so that you could sit back and you could ask them now. Like, and maybe they're just making money hand over fist off of the Ford advertisements and the Lego advertisements. And I will tell you right now, it makes me not want to buy a Ford. And I'm glad I don't have kids, so I don't have to buy many Legos. Because, like, I'm looking at it as every person that you're advertising on there is somebody that I want to not... I'm a consumer. I get to choose. Just like you're the game company and you own the game and you get to choose whether or not you're going to screw up your customer's experience, I can do the same thing. All right, this hole is another one of those holes that just blows. I always think to myself when we play this hole that what you need to do is just go over there with the Guardian and just stick it to the cup, but that's not as easy as it sounds. It's not. I'm not so sure that the last time we played this that I didn't come out here with my rocket and try and stick it right to it and try and do a dunk. I'm not so sure that that's not what happened. We will find out. My opponent's got a kingmaker so that they can get their ball up into that zone. And you can see how much curvature's on there. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. That's about... I'm not going to say that's as good as it gets, but for most people, that's as good as it gets. Where's my max club? Let's see if I bring out a 0 power ball. It does put me in... It does put me in driver, but barely. And there's no way I can do a dunk here without getting caught up in that rough. So, like, if we want to play up close like this, a Guardian is definitely a good bet. I think I'm going to play right there, 3 rings off with 1 tick of curl. And my opponent obviously is like, hey, I saw my opponent just now, like testing out some shots and stuff. Like, we're practicing. Is it like that big of a deal to miss a putt? Nobody's paying attention, or I'm playing replays, or nobody gets the whole concept of practice. Like, hey, we're practicing. We had to actually spend cash in order to practice this, and then we're going to spend 2 seconds. 3.7. I'm just going to do 3.7. And I know there's a big, I'm going to do 1.3 times 3.7. It's 4.81 rings. And 1 red line of curl. Perfect. Could put on just a titch more curl from that spot. I'll have to put a tick mark on here. So I pulled out. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that, because there is a shot there with my Guardian, but that is a 100% guaranteed get a birdie, move the hell along. Here's my thought process. This hole right here, as innocuous as it seems, is going to eat people's lunch. Like, there's going to be a good group of people if you go through your brackets and see how many people failed on this hole. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to be the people that are in the top 50. It's going to be the people in the bottom 50, and the reason that they're in the bottom 50 is because they screwed up on a hole like this. Like, the difference between them being in 39th and 58th is this hole. And so this hole is going to ruin a bunch of people's rounds, where these people that are down here in these bottom 50 and even in the weekend round, people that didn't make it into the, didn't get the success that they wanted. You can look through their round, and there's holes that they screwed up on, and this is going to be a hole that people are going to screw up on. In my mind, it's a low percentage hole-in-one hole. If I really wanted to go for the hole-in-one, where I was coming off of this, trying to bring it around to the cup, you've got this to contend with on your second bounce, and it's super easy to get caught up. And so we have a little teeny bit of risk for a low percentage shot. So if I come over here and I just get my birdie every time I move along, I can eliminate myself from that bracket, and I can focus my energies on a hole that I have a better shot on and not get jacked up here, because you know how it works. We all go to a hole like this with the best of intentions, and we got a game plan and we're going to do the thing, and then we get out there and we end up with a par, and it ruins our round. I'm not interested in that happening on a hole that I have a very low chance of making a hole-in-one on. It's not that you can't make a hole-in-one on it. It's just, it's not a big hole-in-one hole for me. Maybe for you, it's like, hey, shit, man, that's one of my favorite holes. I get hole-in-ones on it all the time. Then that is awesome. You should go for it. All right, what do we have here? What? Okay, This is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. And you can set yourself up for success. What I'm going to do here, okay, first of all, my normal MO here is if I draw a line through this is usually the area that I'm trying to hit. Because when I play this in 101, I don't bring out big balls, number one. And number two, even if I had like a 3-power ball, I don't usually have ball, I won't play with a Kingmaker, so I don't have a lot of spin and I don't have a lot of stuff. So if you're hitting it way down here and now you got to come like this to get to the cup, you're going to have some stuff. And so I usually find it better here. And then if you have a secondary club like a Big Dog or a Cataclysm, something that's got lots of topspin, a freaking Horizon, something that's got lots of topspin, so that you can try and push it up. You can try and get greedy and really go for it. But just getting it right here, man, you got a great shot at making that. And it's super easy to roll off this green. So if you're actually trying to go for the green, it's very easy to end up here on the back. So usually I don't even try and do that. I just try and lay it up right here in front and then make that my eagle shot. But what I'm going to do today, because I'm not so sure, like, if you get down here, I see a lot of people trying to get down here, and I'm always trying to get right here. And if we draw the lines to the cup, we're that much shorter if we're here. So I know I've been down in here before, but I can't remember because it's been so long. Like, how far into this gap can you get? Because if I can get down here and get into this gap where now I can really make the bend, it is definitely worth getting down there. But if you're down here and you're still in front of the gap, I would rather take this shot with a bigger ball and just bring out a 5 power ball or a 4 power ball so that I can get bounce number 1, bounce number 2, and be running towards the cup. And it's an absolutely straight line. I don't need to do anything special. I don't need to do anything. But today in practice, I'm going to hit it way in the hill down here. And if I don't get all the way down there on the first shot, I'll chip it over to that area so that we can at least see what that shot looks like. All right. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Trust me. Do I not have a trustworthy face? What's the deal? All right. Oh. And what are we going to bring on this? We're going to bring, is it the number 4 bag? Yes. And I'm going to try it with just a Titan. We'll do this amazing thing with the Titan, and we'll see where that puts us so that we can get an idea of where we would want to be. Now, this right here, all right, once again, well, it seems like we were just talking about the fact that Playdemic fucking hates their customers. Hates us. And this is another example of it right here. I just spent 1,000 gems. In the store, that would be $10 US. Well, $9.98. All right? I just spent $9.98 to buy practice tokens. Buy 2 different things that give me practice tokens, and I'm out of practice tokens after 3 holes. Because they're 6-shooters and they didn't go off. Okay, I spent $10 US. Playdemic. Anybody out there listening to me? $10. And you can't just give me my goddamn practice tokens? Do I have to give you a reach around to get the extra customer service here? Jeez. I swear. The game is so much fun, but the people that are running it are such douchebags. I'm just amazed at how much they hate us. I'm just amazed. So now I will be right back because I'm going to have to watch a 7-hour video to get 1 practice token so that maybe one of my practice token things, and let me make sure I got those things on because we don't want to have to go through this, and we will have to go through this again. I've got it selected. And I'm out of practice tokens for $10. I mean, come on. When somebody pays you $5, you can't just give them their practice tokens? I'm just asking the question. I mean, can you not do that? Do we have to have some, hey, we're going to have some pinwheel and we got to go around and we got to do the thing and now we've got to jump through all these hoops? I know you spent $10, but now we're going to make you jump through hoops to get what you spent the $10 on. And think about how ridiculous that is. You go into a store and you buy a coffee, and then they tell you, hey, before we can give you your coffee, you're going to have to go walk around the block and you got to go next door and talk to the owner of that shop. We know that you paid for it. But before we can give it to you, you're going to have to go do all of this stuff. You would tell them to go screw themselves and you go to a different coffee shop. That bullshit that they tell us that, hey, we practice, like we're people that work for Playdemic, we played the game too. Yeah, you turned the game on and played it at the very beginning and went through the little practice thing so that you could say that you played the game, but none of you assholes play the game. Otherwise, you'd be pissed off at all this stuff too. Jeez. All right, I'll be right back. I will never get that time back ever again. Jeez. I mean, you play a lot of these games and they just do the blatant money grab. And I can respect that because they're honest about it. But here, I just don't get it. I could go through 10 different ways that Playdemic could monetize this game. And not only could they monetize it where they would make more money, but we would be happy. But yet, I think they have a list at their office, and they have them on the wall, and they say, these are what our customers really want, and it'll make us more money. But what we want to do is try and come up with some other way that they don't want, that won't make us as much money. And that's the way we're going to go with. It really feels like that's what they're doing. I'm just saying. That's okay, and it's EA Sports too. My nephew and I were laughing when EA Sports bought it, because it's like, how long will it take EA Sports to screw the game up? And it didn't take them very long. It did not. There's Max. I'm going to go to the plus. I'm going to go to the +1 mark with Max topspin. We'll see what the deal is there. 3-4. 2 rings. It's 1 point. No, it's 2-8. I'm going to do 2.5 rings. I was doing it in my head, so that was totally wrong. It's 3.4 divided by 1.2. Need 2.83 rings, not 2.5. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa down. Okay, we're not going to get any farther down there. So if this is a good angle, we're going to see it right here. And I really don't know that I would play it that way, where I run all my topspin out, because, man, that can go horribly wrong. Especially on a tailwind day. Like, it will run out farther than it did on a tailwind day. So you really got to watch it. And I have no idea why my opponent didn't just hit to where I'm at, so that they could actually practice the shot they came here for. You can get into that mouth. Is that 6 topspin? I'm going to do 6.5. 4-3. 1.1 times 4.3 divided by 1.4 is 337. There's 3-4. $7,000 rings, great on the inside. Perfect. You can see if you hit that where that hill's on the backside, where as you're coming up to the green, it's all uphill, and then there's a hill that runs right here. If you have enough speed that you encounter that hill, you're going to roll off the backside, and there ain't no wooing you. And I'm not so sure that this green isn't different than it was originally, because it seemed to me that originally it didn't have that big hill on it. It went downhill right off the bat. I could be wrong. I could be. Here comes the puppies. The mail lady just got here. Nice. Nice. Eagle. That's one way to do it. This is the other way. If I can make this. If. In the hole. Woo! All right. The deal is that this hole right here this is another one of those holes, just like I was talking about earlier, that there's going to be a ton of people that come in here and don't get eagles either time. And if you can get an eagle every single time, it's going to be huge. So if you were hitting, you can see from down here with a 3 Powerball, I could get my starting spot right in here. if you were back in this area, I think with like a 5 power ball, you could probably get into that same zone. You might be back just a little teeny bit further. But if I was here and I had a 4 power ball, I would have been able to start on the other side, especially if it was a ball that had a little more side spin, so I didn't have to use any curl. You do have options down here. I do like this shot, but you'll probably have to bring out something bigger. But I think the second shot in some cases might be easier, but your distance has to be right. If you're too far away, then you might struggle. So somewhere down in here, you choose. If you've got lower developed stuff, I would think about that. I would think about it, or at least take a look at it and see what you think. Maybe it doesn't work for your clubs, but all right. I love this hole. Now you can shoot this hole with a big topper. Now here's the problem that I have. My big topper is level 8, and it has more distance, and it has more curl. And so if I practice it with my big topper, it's going to be different. We'll definitely have to pull back from the red line a little. You can do this with an APOC as well. If you've got an Apocalypse and it's got all of its curl, you can do it with that. What you're looking for, you see, is if I'm 5 rings out in here, I'm facing off in this direction. And what we're looking for is to cover this angle. And so what you're looking for with your club is your second bounce. Because your second bounce is going to be out here, and you have to imagine in your mind's eye that we've taken this shot, and then on our shot arc, when it gets over here with the curl, it's going to clip that fairway and run forward. So as long as you have enough topspin that you think that'll happen, I'm going to use my APOC. But I do not think I can use all the tops. I'm going to use my big topper. Why not? Why not? We'll just use the big topper. And this does work better with a Kingmaker. Just because of all the wonderful things he does. Wow, I got 1 practice token out of my 2 items. We're on hole 6. We started off with 1. I bought 12, and I've only had to watch 1 video so far, so let's think of one thing that they could do that would increase their bottom line and really wouldn't affect any of their other sales. Put Berserkers in the store. People are still going to buy 5 power balls, but there's times when, like, hey, I'm on this hole and what I really need is a Berserker. I have no idea how much topspin I can put on. I'm going to put on 6. That might be. We're looking at that second bounce. That might be too much. I'm at the +8 mark. 2.6. It's 2.0 per ring, so I'm going to do a ring and a half. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if I went out far enough. I don't think I did. No, I did. Perfect. I could have put 1 more topspin on. I'm not quite where I want to be. You can see this angle coming up to the cup. If I was a little bit farther forward, my approach to the cup would be up on the flat. And where I'm at, I'm coming in at it, and it's on a serious curve. You know, I like this hole because this is the first hole, in my experience in the game, where they came out with where we did negative numbers, where it was like uphill. Like, this is when this tournament came out, is like we started getting into some more of these micro adjustments. And okay, I'm right at max club. 3.4 divided by 1.2. 2.55 rings. $2.55 rings. 2, 5, 5. Oh, and I had a great. Right there. And that perfect would have been right on the other side. In the hole. Close. I did -10 there, and I think a perfect would have been in on the other side. And I started off on the other side of the cup. I personally like to be just a little teeny bit farther forward. You can go back and freeze frame when it spins around and it's showing where the flagpole is from where my position was. And I really like coming in a little bit higher where it's flatter. Now, let's see if I can miss this putt. We're just barely starting to glow right there. Can't believe it made it in. Jeez. Look at that. Look at that. I can make a putt. I can tell you if it's possible to miss a putt, I have done it. I surely have. All right, what hole are we on here? Hole number 7. Hole number 7. This is the last par 3. It is. And I'll be honest with you, I cannot remember this hole. I do need to go back. I do need to go through. I said this when I was doing the scouting report. I need to go through and find the first or the second tournament that this was in. What was the first or second tournament this was in? Maybe that Cliff Tops Links. It was an older tournament. And it might be this Coast to Coast tournament that's right here. That there was one of these tournaments that I figured out something on this hole with my Guardian. And there was a spot, like if I literally put my blue ring there and my blue ring here and I wedged up into that spot and I put this much spin on and then I took the wind out, bam, bam, bam. But I can't remember where that spot is. Hold on a second. All right, I went and tried to find it, but I could not. So let me look at it one more time. I was looking through. Some of those tournaments that are on there were mixed bag tournaments where there was multiple holes. So I'm just going to find a spot. We'll reinvent the wheel. Let's start off with that. And I don't think I need that ball right there. Let's start with a katana. And I'm not actually... I really need to go out there and play it anyways, because I can't. I think I know which hole this is, but I'm so bad at this. You know, I can look at holes from different courses, and sometimes I can remember the hole from the picture, and sometimes I can't. But as soon as I get on the course, I'm like, oh, yeah. I was so happy. It was a year after the game came out before Golf Clash Notebook started. And I was so happy when Golf Clash Notebook started that I was already on the verge. I was recording some videos for my buddy Scooby. But when Golf Clash Notebook came out at the beginning of 2018, that was it for me. Okay. I'm going to wedge myself up. So I am blue ring off the rough, blue ring off the sand. Where does that put me? Okay, there's max. There's min. So I'm eking min. Let's see what kind of spin I'd have to put on here. There's 4 and 1.5. And where does that put me? There's 4 and 2. 4 and 2. All right, 4 backspin, 2 right-hand side spin. Blue rings wedged in there. And it did seem like there was an adjustment that I was doing, like 10% or some shit, but I'm going to start off at just where I'm at in my club. So I'm kind of, with that ball, I could switch to a quasar and I'd be more towards mid because I'm only using 2 side spin. So 4 and 2 with a quasar. And that should put me more towards the mid club at 1.1. $199.66. Okay, we're gonna use a quasar, and we're gonna do 4 and 2. Here's a 5 and 2. Yeah, it might have been 4 and 2. It was 4. Blue rings off. Hey, where I can see you, damn it. And it is 4 and 2. Let's see how close that gets me. It's mid club, 2-6. That leaves me 4. Isn't it perfect? With 0 time left on the clock. And my opponent's not going to give me any break because they're not practicing. Close. Those are some numbers I'm going to write down. I'm definitely going to want to go back and watch this video because stuff like that right there, I need to find a spot where I can just go put it in that spot, make an adjustment. And then when I'm working on, so my only variable is the wind adjustment. All right, hold on. All right. Wife came home, neighbors called, all kinds of stuff. What do we got? Where are we? Practice now. What hole? Hole number 8. Hole number 8. I'm going to get a hole in one on that par 3 this week. I'm going to make that an effort. Now, if the wind is blowing the right direction here, we can try and get out wherever our red line is out here and try and bridge across. But I think we need we might be able to get over there with just a regular 5-power ball, but with some of these 5-power topspin boost balls and tailwind, if we have all of those things going for us, we might be able to go for the green side. I think most people are going to try and get up into this area. From the Pro Tees and rookie, or from the Pro Tees and one-on-one, I always play right here. And you don't have a bad shot at all. But let's go out there and look at it. You've got to be fucking kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, is 2 + 2 4 or is 2 + 2 5? Because I think for all of us users, players, 2 + 2 = 4. But I think for Playdemic management and their staff and their philosophy of things is it's 2 + 2 = 5. Because it's just impossible. Oh, hold on. All right. I am just... Man, I don't know if you've ever had to sit through those ads, but I am just blown away that in-game equivalency, I spent $10 to get practice tokens, and now they forced me, and I only needed 8, and I had 1 to start off with, so I only needed 7, and I bought 12. And so that means in 8 holes, I've had to watch that video twice when I bought 12. I mean, are you doing that just so that you can force people to watch those videos? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that pisses me off where I'll just like if I go into a business and people, get rude with the staff and all that stuff. I don't ever do that. If I go into a place and they don't treat me right, I'm a customer. I just leave. I mean, I just do my stuff and I never come back. So you guys lost my business. It's so sad that we love the game, but that the people who are running it are such that they just treat us like dog shit. I mean, I'm just amazed. Amazed. All right, where were we? Where were we? There we are. There we is. Let's check out and see what the deal is with the ball stuff, because I'm pretty sure you can get over with a 5-power topspin boost ball. Of course, hold on. Of course. All right, it is possible for one more person to come in here and interrupt me, but or my phone to ring one more time. Here we go. Here we go. All right, we're on hole number 8. Are we on hole number 8? We are. And we have the one practice token that I had to go watch a video on. Yeah. Where else do you go? I'm just trying to rack my brain to think of where else, all of the different things in life where we go and we spend $10 and then they make us work for it. I suppose if you go to the carnival or Vegas, man, I don't think maybe there is. I could have swore there is. Let's bring out, let's check out Powerballs, and let's see a topspin boost ball. Yeah, we can get over in one right there. Right there, folks. That is on and one. And I will tell you, you got to go for it. I mean, I'm thinking hitting right there and then putting just a titch of left-hand spin on it. But you pretty much have to go for that. I mean, I don't know how you're going to have any options. There's going to be too many people in the bracket that are going to go for that shot. Now you can set up here and try and get yourself down onto the end, or you can go for the layup shot and just come straight forward. Which it's nice that Playdemic put signs out there so that if we get right down to the very tip, there's a good chance that we might be able to get caught behind one of those signs. We'll cross our fingers. Hope. Because nothing says, let's go play golf than going out on a golf course that's got signs in all of the spots that we would hit that are in play. That should be temporary. What gets me about the whole deal is that it's not like we're talking about some rocket science or they got to come out with some new technology. I'll give it to you in one word. Shrubs. We can see the shrubs, but the shrubs aren't in play. So it's possible for us to be able to see something and it not be in play. It's possible. Okay, we're going to see my opponents. And you can see what it would be like right there. Let's see if I can get down. Let's see if I can get down in there. See where my second bounce is at. I'm going to end up doing the same thing, clipping the rough. $375. $375. That second bounce will definitely clip the rough. Oh, and I didn't get over the little lip to get over. A 3-sidespin ball will work better on that particular shot, but you can see why I normally just hit it straight forward, because it is a little technical. It's not that you can't recover from right there. The whole deal is that we do have a pretty nice shot, and it would be nice to be able to make that. And my opponent is not going to give me any slack because they're playing during practice, because nobody knows how to practice. Nobody gets it. Am I the only, like me and Dunner were out there doing the thing, are we the only two people that get the whole deal, like, hey, you can go out and practice, and you see somebody practicing and it's like, wow. Because if that was their whole practice thing and that's what they came out to do, is that right there? Man, that's grim. That's brutal. I'm not going to get another shot because they're gonna jerk me around. Let's see how fast we can run. Three, 4. And there's 3, 4. $70 rings great to the right, aka 2. I think the way to go on that hole, we're gonna have to. Now even today where we had a 4-9 headwind, there's a lot of times when we're going over water and we're doing that stuff in the game where that let's call it a 5 mile, it was a 4.9 mile an hour headwind, but let's call it 5 for easy math. It might be pushing up against you 10. And if that's the case, because there's a lot of those spaces where it's like that, where the wind is basically pushing up against you about twice as much. I don't know if we could make it on a headwind day. But if we're only dealing with 4.9 headwind and maybe just like a 10% boost on top of that, I think I might have been able to get past that. I'm not sure that I would have been able to get past it enough that when I got to the other side, I wouldn't end up doing some kind of a bump right here and just end up right here. But hell, that's much better than that. If we're in long iron here, we're in short iron there. Possibly, depending on ball, wedge. I think except on just absolutely pure headwind days, I'm not sure that we have really any choice because there's just going to be too many people. Here's the deal. You take 100 people and ask yourself the question, how many of this 100 are willing to pull out a 5 power toss and boost ball in order to get over there? Now, first of all, let's just say that 75% of them don't have that ball. So we only have 25 people out of 100. And let's say all of them did it. Well, shit. That's a bunch of people getting over here that have that shot. I'm not sure that we can lay off that. If we can come up with a really good number from right here, which I think it might be hard to just get to a specific spot, as how much effort it takes to get here versus how much effort it takes to get here, I'm not sure there's that much difference. It might be easier to try and get over. I think we almost have to go over to the other side because of the ball inventory. If you've got the ball, you're going to have to do it. All right. This is another one of those holes that I think you got to bring out a big power ball in order to land on the island and then get yourself down into this area. And this is really where I want to hit, because if we fail out here, there's a chance we can recover. We have options. We can bounce off of this island and try and bridge the gap. We can bounce off of this island and try and bridge the gap. We do have some options. This island's less, unless we were down here, is less likely. Let's go look at it. I know the shot going this way, like if you get down here, you really need to work on this setup. Because once you get this shot down, you can have pretty good success down here. The problem is that if anything goes wrong, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault, and you end up in the rough here, you end up in the rough out here, you are in big ass trouble. Big. Like I think from back in here, you'll be lucky just to get on this pad. Let's go look at it. Let's see. I don't know that I want to practice token, so I may have to watch another video. I'm not even sure I can watch another video. I may have to go play a game of one-on-one in order to get a practice token. Because Playdemic loves us so much. This is just ridiculous. I mean, is this not laughable? I mean, it is laughable. It is just, I mean, how can you screw that shit up? How can you be such a douchebag to your customer base? Like, why would you do that? Why would you not just give them what they paid for so that they would go out there and play instead of getting irritated and going, screw it? And then they're not spending, think about the resources. I'm not going to spend a ball if I decide, now I'm shooting a video, so I'm going to have to play. So I'm going to have to watch another one of their crappy little videos, if it'll even let me. I don't know that it'll let me watch another video back to back like that. I guess it will. Here we go. I'm going to make you guys watch it. There we go. I'm going to spread the love. This is what they make you watch when you've already purchased stuff. I spent $10 so that I can watch videos. Shit, I could have saved the $10 and just watched all the videos. Yep. Boy. Now, here's what gets me is these are supposed to be, what, 30-second videos? I should time it. Because when it gets done and the 30 seconds is over, then it starts a 10-second shot clock. Yeah. Are we playing Mahjong here? Is that what this game is? Alright. We got our reward. Did we get our reward? How do we get our reward? Yeah. Let's hide it. Now, look over here in the corner. Now we got a little thing spinning around. We got to wait 5 more seconds before we can get it. And then this is spinning around, and then we got to hit that. Yeah. 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 I could have solved that problem by just buying some practice tokens. Oh, that's right. You can't buy just practice tokens. You got to buy a lottery system. I'm trying not to lose my shit today. I am. Everybody should just send in a text thing to them, a support ticket going, hey, is there any way that when we spend $10, we can just get our stuff? I mean, is that possible? Oh, shit. This is not the hole. And of course, then I'm not on the hole. I mean, is this Masters? Am I from the Masters tees? I am. We are from the Masters tees. Well, shit. Shit. Yep. And then I wasted a practice tee. The one that I just had to watch the freaking video on. So now I got to play the hole in order to get to the end to see if I can get some of the practice tokens I actually paid for. Yep. Makes you love the game. It'll make you love it. 1.1 times 12.4 divided by 1.2. I should have moved that 11.36 rings. That's why I ended up over here. I didn't pull it enough. I was trying to clip the rough right there and just bleed out, but... My opponent has the right idea, just lay it up there on the top and then go at it from the thing, but I think they're going to end up in the shit. Yeah, and they were just trying to lay it up. Yeah. Nirvana. Right at Max Club. Man, oh man. It's 7 rings. There's 5, 6, 7. That's with nothing on it. And a grate. And I forgot to put the curl on it. Man. I am thoroughly disgusted with this game right this second. My attitude's wrong. Where are you trying to get? Are we playing one-on-one, or are we actually out here practicing? Because I'm sure that you weren't trying to get to that spot. So why didn't you just hit it over to where you're trying to hit it? Nobody practices. Leave a comment on this video if you've ever seen anybody practice, because I'm going to be surprised if anybody's ever seen anybody practice, other than yourselves. In the hole. Probably glad I hit it great to the left. That was a 2-ring great to the left and hit the flagpole. So it's a good thing I hit it great to the left. Let's check my opponent out. I always find it hard to believe that somebody's played 8,000 games and they've never played in a tournament. I mean, is this just a play account for them? Have they ever played in a tournament? And I get it. When you're playing one-on-one, you don't necessarily have to bring in anything good. But when you're playing in tournaments, you got to think different. You got to be willing to expend the resources that you have sitting in your bag. All right. Did I get a practice? Oh, jeez, I got a practice token. Look at that. Hole number 9. All that just to get to hole number 9. But don't worry, it only cost me $10. Not that I spent $10 for those gems, but the equivalency, if I'd have just bought the gems, that's $10. I mean, come on. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Give me my stuff. I go first. Shit, I've forgotten what even hole we're on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, you might be able to get that done. Like, let's look where my bounces are at. See where my bounce is at. If I can get my bounce to hit right there, I'm in the sweet spot with a 3 power ball. Now, going up against the headwind, that shit's not going to happen. But let's see what it looks like with a 5 power ball. Hey, let's pick the ball, not look at the ball. Can I do it without doing any overpower? Maybe. Maybe. I might just be able to do it from right there on a headwind or a sidewind day with a 5 power ball. With a 4 power ball on topspin boost, I could probably do it without doing any power whatsoever. I'm not going to get past that headwind with a Titan. The real trick, and I'm going to try this out. I'm going to take a look at it. My opponent might be in some trouble. They are in some trouble. They is. Now let me check this out one more time. If I put all of the topspin boost on it and I get my ass out here, like what? See that second bounce? I'm just wondering if my second bounce arced across, if I couldn't actually make a run at that island if you had a topspin boost ball. Man, if you got some topspin boost balls, that might be the ticket right there. Let's see if I can blast past that with a Titan. I don't think I can get past the wind. I would have got past the wind if my trajectory hadn't been a mile off, because I have definitely got green to the right of me. So you can get down there with a power 3 ball. It's carrying a mile. I just put too much curl on it and hit it not perfect. Way too much curl. My opponent went from the rough to the rough to the rough. Now the goal would be to try and get right here. Somewhere on the green right there. So this would be the shot that we'd be looking at. And I'm not mistaken. I don't know that I can get there with a grizzly, but I believe there's a rough bump we can do here if we've got a Goliath. And I don't have a Goliath in this bag, but I'm going to wish that I did here in a second. Maybe. You might be able to get there with a grizzly, but I almost think you have to have a Goliath. And it's definitely, our eyes are telling us it's definitely downhill. So if we were going to make an adjustment, adding on some, but we all know that the playdemic dweeb who puts in the variables doesn't play the game, so they don't care what we see. Okay, there's max. There's min. There's mid. So I'm eking mid. Do I have enough topspin to get there? Not a chance in hell. You can see how it's breaking at the end too. I'm gonna have to start off over here in order to get the run at the cup at the end. 2.9. I'm in mid club, it's 1-1 per ring. I'm gonna do 3 rings. Okay, don't move the screen, move the ball set. There's 2, there's 3. Hitting it perfect with no time left on the clock, I'm sure. Yeah, you'll have to ring out a Goliath. And you're not going to be able to go straight at the cup. You're going to have to move it around like that and look at it because it's dropping. Now, it might not do that if you've got the topspin where you can run your topspin all the way to it. And part of the reason why that does that sometimes is because your topspin is hitting through the break. So like on that particular hole, if you're going straight towards the cup, it's wanting to drop off. So if you're going straight towards the cup, it's going to come this way. But if you hit it fast enough, it'll ride right through that break and go straight at the cup. So I think speed to get it in the thing, but a Goliath is definitely what we want to have on that, because a Goliath's not going to hurt us anywhere we're at on here. So if we're in long iron range out here, if we got into some situation, that long iron is going to be able to make it, but it's going to give us the topspin we're going to need in order to do that rough bump. I like that rough bump. That is a perfect tee rough bump right there. Perfect. I am going to be going for that area, but I don't have the ball inventory to blow. Let's see if I don't think I have any. I have a handful of 5-power topspin boost balls. I have just a handful, 6 of them. I do have 10 of these balls, but I'm not sure that the 2 topspin boost is going to do it. I think you really need to have 4 or 5, like something like this. In that range, but you might be able to go. You might. If you got the right stuff and the wind was blowing in the right direction, you might be able to make a run for that. And that would be awesome, because that's got to be short iron or wedge down there. For sure. I'm gonna try this at least once this week, but I'm probably gonna play for this area. And what I was encouraged by right there is that we could get it done with a Titan. So we don't necessarily have to bring out a bigger power ball. And we had, a 4-mile-an-hour headwind coming at us. and I ended up out in this area over curling it. So I definitely could have made it. Shit, I was 30 yards into that fairway. All right, there you go. That is my practice round for the League of Leagues. Tournament starts tomorrow. We have a free practice round tomorrow, but with these 9-hole cups, it's always good on Thursday to have a game plan, because it's tough when you wait until the last day to qualify, because you can go out there with the best of intentions and you've been killing it all week, and then you get out there and then you have 2 bad holes and now you don't qualify. So having a practice round in isn't a bad deal. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great week. Hopefully everybody stays safe, and I will see you on the next one.